call the May 27th, 2026 Millwood Planning Commission regular meeting to order. First order of business is the roll call. Commissioner Carina.
Present.
Commissioner Beasley.
Here.
Commissioner Malter.
Here.
Commissioner Rickard.
Here.
And Chairman Ankeny is here. We every member is here. We do have a quorum. So the next is the approval of the meeting agenda. I think it looks pretty good. Amanda said she thought we could get through all of it, so I'm gonna say let's go forward. So I will, does anybody have any questions on the agenda? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the matter? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, the next thing is approval. We have two sets of minutes to approve. We have April 22nd and April 29th. First thing is on the April 22nd minutes, looks like it's on page 3, but it's the second page for the minutes. The only thing I caught on it is under paragraph C and paragraph D. My last name is misspelled.
Oh, oh, I didn't catch that.
Does anybody else have any comments on the April 22nd meeting minutes?
I do on the next page.
Which would be page 4?
4,
Okay,
on the question about the incorporated town.
can you be a little more precise, like what
Second,
there?
first full paragraph.
Okay,
So
okay,
this is not quite how it was or how it is. And I know we have the official records and we have the YouTube, but I did not explain the first mayor was elected. I explained that the vote for incorporation was taken in 1927 and that the council had their first meeting in 28, not that, I mean, the government was probably formed in 27 when they voted for who was going to be mayor, and the 4 council members and the treasurer were all elected together in 27. So I'm just, the big thing was they voted to incorporate in 27, but held the first council meeting in 28. It just makes it more complicated than it needs to be.
I thought that was addressed with that, like next to the last one, changing the date to 27 and 20/28, so that helped a little bit.
Well, yeah, I think I'm really happy with what we decided to do on the actual document.
Oh.
It's just the, and of course, the YouTube will have it correct. It's just the minutes got a little far up into made-up territory.
okay, so how are you suggesting they read?
Just explained that the vote on incorporation was held in 1927. The election was certified in 27. However, the first city council meeting was 1928, or January 1928, if you want.
Okay, so you want to eliminate the first mayor was elected in 1927 and change that to the town voted to incorporate in November of 1927.
Correct. And also eliminated government was formed. We sound like an English parliament or something.
Okay.
Just the first meeting was held.
Yep, no problem. So I'm trying to make sure she's got that. Okay, perfect. Anything else?
I was a little confused in the next to the last paragraph where it talked about allowing another box plant. I'm not sure where box plant came from. Concern about allowing another box plant to use the space.
Okay, that's in the next to last paragraph,
Correct.
second sentence. Got box, so I'm assuming box plant would be like a big box store. so a big plant.
Or it might be a
Just-
plant that made boxes. I don't know.
Through that.
I'm sure I
See
didn't
where
say
she's
it.
I'm going on page 4.
Right there.
Oh, right there, okay. And it's even in quotes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. So you just want her to check the recording on that?
Yeah, cause I don't know if I said paper plant or said industrial plant or something that sounded like box but wasn't, or I don't know, box confuses me, 'cause
And it's in quotes, that's weird. What if she just put another plant?
yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, just cross out
Just
quotes
cross
and
out
take out
box.
the quotes.
Take it, yeah, get rid of the quotes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in general, someone spent a whole crazy amount of time on these. And we have been moving as a city towards much smaller minutes that are more generalized. We have the YouTube for play-by-play, word-by-word. So we had these training sessions from Jurassic Parliament. And she seemed to feel that you could have this long meeting and have like 2/3 of a page of just the basics. This was discussed, this was decided, you know, without any blow by blow, and that was that. So if that saves someone time in the future, I don't think we feel that it needs to be quite so detailed.
We appreciate the detail, and I would just make sure to discuss with Brian. But I have to agree with Bobby, we did all that. Have you done the Jurassic Parliament yet?
These were drafted by an admin assistant
Oh, okay,
to help delegate with time.
okay, no problem, okay, perfect,
So-
okay.
I'll pass the message
Yeah.
on.
They are very thorough.
They are thorough.
Yes.
They are thorough, okay. Anything else?
Those were the biggies.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion. We're just talking about the April 22nd meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve those with the suggested edits.
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. All right, to the Wednesday, April 29th meeting minutes. Nothing stood out to me. But I guess I will reiterate what we talked about first. They're very detailed, and they can be, she can be a little more vague. I guess is a good way to put it, right? Not vague, but less detailed.
Less
Yeah,
detailed,
that's-
more summary.
Yeah, exactly. Does anybody have any
Oh.
improvements, any edits?
I had one since
Okay,
on one, two, about in the middle of the page, we have
Page number,
page 7.
okay,
Oh, the
thank you.
second full paragraph of B, I guess you'd say.
okay,
Ms. Tenyo updated the previous language for sidewalks, trails, shared roadways. Says Commissioner Beasy asked if streets were defined in the comp plan. I think I asked if the classifications of streets. You know,
Would you like-
like which ones were arterials and which ones, so
Would you
so
like
street, whether street classification, so if you stuck the word classification, made street singular and put classifications in after it, that would make me happier.
Anybody have anything else? Oh, Mr. Rickard.
Page 8, second to the last paragraph. My name is spelled wrong.
Yeah.
Also on
Get her a
page,
cheat sheet.
also on page 8, Amanda, how do you pronounce your last name?
Tiny.
Tinyo.
Tiny.
Okay, thank you. Also on page 8, one paragraph above, Commissioner, supposed to be Rickner, there's 2 Ms. for Ms. Tynium.
Oh,
Yep.
Yes.
So there's Ms.
I wondered about it. Same thing after E about.
Yes.
Yep.
I scan for content.
And the
She's
second one
really
was?
important.
There's 2 Mrs.
Right here.
before my name, yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
and there was,
So, did you catch it twice? It's on there twice.
yeah,
yes,
and then you got his.
yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
Those are the important ones, I think.
Okay. Nobody has anything else, I will entertain a motion to approve the April 29th meeting minutes with the suggested edits.
I move to approve the meeting minutes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. So just note the admin assistant, great job. Okay, too good a job, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That takes us to, back to the periodic update. So, for Amanda.
Yep.
Number A is we're gonna review our requested mods from the 5:13 meeting.
Okay. So I incorporated everything from the last meeting. The one thing I'll cover is on packet page 26 and 27. As requested, I researched the current language for the signature blocks. And the assessor, it's a simple one, just like property owner and auditor, those kinds of things. Planning department, those are all the same. And then the auditor's certificate, there was actually an example that's consistent with what the other jurisdictions were using on the auditor's website, so I was able to grab that. And then everything else is consistent with what the other jurisdictions are using, so those were all updated.
So, any questions in regards to the review requested modifications from our 5:13 meeting? Okay. So I will entertain a motion to approve agenda item 4A, the review of the requested mods. I don't know, I guess.
I don't think we've done that before.
No, we just
Okay,
move on.
perfect, okay, all right, no, I'm just, hey, I'm in the, we're gonna get stuff done tonight, so. All right, okay, if everybody's okay with that, we're gonna move to B, review Title 14, land use.
Okay, so this section addresses a lot of the questions that came up at the last meeting, where things were moved out of subdivisions and moved into here, to go over all the processing items together. So it has been streamlined, it is consistent with state law, and I added a whole lot of tables to address our new type 1 to type, type 1 to type 5 processing. They're a little hard to read, I will say, because it's in track changes, but when track changes are accepted, all this dark blue goes away. Where it's red, it'll be white. So it'll be dark white on dark blue, and then the light blue, medium blue to make the table more readable. So it's just really hard listed in red instead of white and black.
It's more readable than the green ones.
It is more readable in the green, and there was nothing I could do about this one. It would not let me show it any other way.
I do have a question on page 29.
Okay.
14, paragraph A, it says, copy of the notice sent to all agencies, organizations in adjacent jurisdictions with an interest. Who determines who the adjacent jurisdictions are?
Me. And I send it to all of them.
Oh, okay.
So anybody that borders us, I send it to Spokane County, City of Spokane Valley, who surrounds us on 3 sides, and then any applicable districts such as see, there's another irrigation district that's close by, I sent it to them.
Orchard.
Orchard, yeah,
Orchard and Irvin.
yeah. So, anything on the comp plan goes out to anybody and everybody pretty much.
Does that include Pasadena?
I think Pasadena's on the list, Inland Power, I think I have on the list, of course, Vista. I have a huge list.
And then another question on the next page, on page 30. It says, down paragraph 2 or number 2, notice for the public hearing, it says, notice shall be emailed to the public notice group.
Yes,
Who's the public notice group?
people that have signed up for the periodic update notices, the Donna's on it. And so that's what we're calling it, is the public notice group. And it's about, well, all of you guys are on it, of course, council's on it, and we have probably about 50 to 60 citizens, I believe, on it. And eventually, the new website is set up where we can transition, so notices will go out automatically. We just don't have it all transferred over yet, and I said during the middle of this was not the time to do it. And so, eventually it'll be automated, but yes, I maintain the public notice group and we save the list on the V drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One thing I'll point out, because it came up at a previous meeting, and I'll show you on page 29, how it has the little hatch lines down the left-hand side. Originally, I thought it's because I had things highlighted to make sure I went through them. No, what that is these weren't formatted correctly. So like one was right under A, or they were shoved all the way to the left. So if you see those hatches but no red lines in here, it's because I corrected the formatting.
Okay.
That's what it is.
I remember that discussion.
Mm-hmm. Anything else on Title 14?
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
I thought that was just me, Bobby.
Okay, when we get to 14.12.025,
025, the new section, yep.
yeah, I got
Okay, page.
page 33. Took me a little while to try to sort out the organizational situation. We have A is the following administrative, quasi-judicial, and legislative permit types. And we have 1 through 4, but apparently 4 has 5 types.
Yes.
So they're
Yes.
kind of like subtypes or something.
Yeah, so you have legislative as its own permit type, that's comp plans, development regulations, and area-wide rezones. Then you have your city council final land division decisions, and that's anything dealing with vacations, alterations, and then the final plat or final unit lot subdivision of 10 or more lots, because we elected to keep that with council. So that's number 2. Number 3 is ministerial permits and exempt permits, and these are ones that don't need to be classified as a project permit because they're too small, like a sign permit or a public assembly permit. And home business permits, another one. So they aren't project permits, but I have to classify them somewhere, so they fall under ministerial or exempt. And then 4 is where our actual project permits are, administrative or quasi judicial. And when you look at the chart, the first one, type 1, is administrative, meaning it is planning director or building official decision. Type 2 is administrative, which is the same thing, but it requires more public notice. Type 3 is where you hit your first quasi judicial. That is hearing examiner approved. Type 4 is your second quasi judicial type. That's planning commission to city council. And type 5 is your interesting one. It's the zone change or property rezone for individual properties. It can't be legislative, even though it requires a comp plan amendment. It has to be quasi judicial, so it's in its own category and it has to process concurrently with a comp plan amendment. And then there's a reason I have something highlighted there, so when we're done with questions in this, I'll go over why I have those highlighted, so we have to make a choice.
Okay, so I found it a little confusing that we had permit types. And then again, we had permit types, but those permit types were underneath one of the other permit types.
Yes.
You know, they
Yeah.
almost should be subtypes or something, just to.
This is pretty typical of how they're laid out in the codes. And honestly, I had to add more to the project permits than I have in the past, because state law is now requiring a site plan review to be considered a project permit. So I was like, that used to be exempt.
So then the other thing is that since this whole table of the sort of subtypes doesn't have a label, so I was having a little trouble seeing where it fit in. I mean, I got it, but it took me a long time to
You
get
know,
all
I
this
did not
sorted
put,
out.
I didn't put labels on those, did I? I just
No.
referenced them by number. Would you prefer me to put labels on them?
Something to
Okay.
reference that to,
Like table 14-1 or whatever.
yeah,
Okay.
and then you could have a note after administrative, you know, referencing table, whatever, and then I'd know where it fit in.
Okay.
Then I was confused because then, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go on to a number 5, determination by director. Is number 5 a type? A permit type, or is number
No, 5 is just a procedural that if it doesn't fall into one of these types, then it's up to me to determine which one it goes to.
Okay, should it be numbered in a list that says permit types? Because we're kind of implying that it's a type. We got type 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I see what you
But 5
mean.
isn't a type, it's something else.
Yeah. Would you prefer that to be B and then create C?
I think so.
Okay, well,
See,
I'm with her on this, okay, so on page 33, we got 1 through 4 listed.
Mm-hmm,
Then you go to the table, we've got 5 different type of permit types listed.
mm-hmm.
And then number 5 comes back and says determination by director. Well, if number 5 is in the chart here, and that's the explanation of it, I think number 5 should go ahead of the chart because the first 4 are ahead of the chart.
right,
Is
but
it-
it's not part of the chart. It's something else entirely,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
which took a while to figure out.
So I'm trying to figure out, okay, maybe we're trying to say the same thing. I'm just confused because I don't see a type. I go back here to reference and I don't see number 5, but yet I see it in the matrix or whatever you wanna call this diagram.
You know what I could
Because
do?
those are subtypes.
Subtypes.
Yeah.
They are subtypes of type 4.
Okay,
That's took me a very long time to sort out. Yeah, they're type 4 has 5 subtypes.
That are actual quasi judicial.
okay,
Yeah.
now I understand.
Yeah,
Thank you.
What I could do is take number 5 and add it just to the explanation in A. Basically that, determination by the planning director, city planner, or designee shall determine the proper procedure type. I could just add that to A. Okay,
that'd work structurally too.
okay.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that for me. Now I understand.
That was hard one. Like I said, I spent a long time figuring
Yeah,
that out.
I mean, I
Because I
read a
was
lot of
doing
this
what you were
kind of stuff.
doing.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so since we're on the table here, on page 34, the reason I have at the bottom, the 2 hearing bodies highlighted, remember I said, you asked me to bring back what is required under state law to have a hearing. What's required under state law to have a hearing are development agreements, the preliminary plats, and the zone change. So basically type 4 and type 5 minus conditional use permit. So my suggestion, and you don't have to take it, is if we wanted to move conditional use permit to a type 3, in the future, you could remove hearings from type 3, but they always are gonna be in type 4 and type 5. It is totally up to you though.
Okay, now I noticed you've crossed out conditional use permit.
That's just the suggestion is, it would be a type 4 based on bringing over from the original code. But if you wanted to take it out of type 4 and put it in type 3, it would be consistent with shoreline conditional use permits and then consistent with variances which go to the hearing examiner.
Okay, it is, I guess I want to highlight that it is a major change from what we're doing now.
It is, that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Because right now, planning commission is doing conditional
Correct.
use permits.
So it would put them to the hearing examiner. But my rationale behind it is then type 4 and type 5 are the ones that require a public hearing. So in the future, it would be easy to change type 3s to remove a public hearing if we so choose to, if we're choose or required based on the, how do I explain this? You have to have at least 3 of procedure streamline processes, and this will make a little more sense when I show the presentation to council. But as long as we have 3 permit streamline processes, which we do, we have 3 right now, interlocal agreement and stuff, then we do not have to give permit refunds if for some reason we blow the project permit timeline that we'll go over. If conditional use permit is moved to a type 3, one of the options that's in there, we're not utilizing it right now, but one of the options in there was to only have hearings for the ones that are required by state law. And that would be the development agreement, the subdivision, and the zone change, so the type 4 and type 5. So again, we're not using that provision right now, but if you want to consider it in the future, then moving conditional use permit over would help pave the way for that.
So if we were not having hearings for conditional use permits, would that mean you'd just decide? Or the planning director would decide?
You can still have somebody else other than me decide, it just wouldn't be at a public hearing. You'd do a notice of application and then go forth with whoever the decision body is. It doesn't have to be me. It just takes out the hearing out of the step. So, and again, I'm not proposing to remove that at this point. I'm only saying that we might want to consider moving conditional use permits over to be consistent in type 3. That's the only suggestion.
I question moving it primarily to make the table work better. which
Well,
is
it's
what
number
this
one,
feels.
it's to align it with what has to have a hearing and what doesn't, even though we do have hearings on type 3. Number 2, it's to make it consistent with like the shoreline conditional use permits. So we already have shoreline conditional use under there, and then both of the variances are under there. So it would just move it over to be consistent with the other types. Again, we don't have to, but that's why it's highlighted.
That feels like a huge change to just make sort of administratively as we're going through doing a whole bunch of other things. The other thing is you had suggested at one point, if we were to move that to a hearing examiner, that we could write some language that would bring the planning commission in making a recommendation to the hearing examiner.
Yes, so if we switch to a hearing examiner system, which isn't proposed right now, then yes, we would incorporate in language. I just didn't add anything now because we weren't switching to it.
Well, I think if you're switching
Oh,
Kind of the
I
main-
see, okay,
one of the main jobs
okay,
to a hearing examiner, then if we were to decide to do that,
okay.
I think someone needs to represent the city in terms of someone that knows what conditions would make sense for a neighborhood.
Okay, so to
So-
receive feedback as part of the staff report to present to the hearing examiner for type 3 project permits or type 3 conditional use permits.
I'd be curious
Mhm.
what other people think of moving that conditional use permits to a hearing examiner rather than as it's always been with us handling it, and having a hearing where the community comes and expresses their opinion and knows they're heard, whether they get what they want or not, at least. And often conditions are based on what we hear from the community to try to make it work. And that, I think that element needs to be in there some way or other.
I thought that's what we decided, that we weren't gonna go with the hearing examiner because
Correct.
exactly for that reason, input from,
So do you wanna leave conditional use permit as is then on, under a type 4?
That would leave it as it currently is.
Yes, it would stay under type 4. Yeah, okay,
that makes sense.
alright.
Okay, before we move on, does anybody have anything else between pages 29 and pages 29 and 34? I don't.
You know, I had a couple things on 30 and 30, but we already addressed those, Mike, so.
Okay, I mean, because now's the time.
No, we already.
We already
addressed
took care of
those.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, so moving to page 35.
And we're already moving 5 back to be with A on 33.
So on number 3, ministerial permits,
Mm-hmm.
except ministerial permits should be approved or returned to the, is that supposed to be applicant maybe?
Did I misspell it?
I'm sure spell checker.
Yeah, which
put it into
number is it?
application.
Application.
Right there, number 3, okay.
Permits should be approved or returned to the applicant, just
Yeah.
makes more sense.
It should be applicant, I'm trying to see where I have the. Exempt should be approved or returned to the applicant, yes, it is applicant. Thank you. And I assigned that 21 day on there. That's something that's up to the city. And so I called over to City of Spokane Valley and talked to them on their processing timeframes. And they're typically about 10 days on getting it back. And so I asked them, if I put 21, do you think that would cover it? And they said yes. So that way we have 21, then we have the first project permit is 65, then 100, and then 170.
Anything else on page 35?
Actually, I guess going back just a little bit, I was curious about the ministerial permits
Mm-hmm.
in everything that they include. So ministerial does not necessarily mean decided by staff, right?
It is decided by staff.
So landmark historic preservation designations, those are not decided by staff.
Oh, where's the,
I'm page 33.
yeah, I'm just, let's see. I thought I had a reference here. May have some.
I think there is
May
a
have
reference.
specific processing requirements identified in the MMC, but do not require a determination of completeness, et cetera. So you just follow the processing in the MMC. So,
But it's not really ministerial then, it's because it's the Historic Preservation Commission.
correct, it would
makes
fall
the
under the
decision.
exempt side. So his landmark historic preservation designations follow the MMC and it goes to the Historic Preservation Commission as part of the review process, as needed or whatever.
And so does staff then also decide about, there was gathering, public assembly permits?
Yeah, and I don't believe the city of Millwood has done public assemblies, but I added it in there in case it's needed. Usually public assembly is done in consultation with the fire district, and I'll give you the best example. If somebody was having an event at the park and they wanted to have a big enclosed tent, like a wedding tent, most definitely you wanna review for a public assembly permit, because you have to make sure you can get 100 people out of a tent if one of those nice propane heaters catches on fire. So you check for exiting and everything, and so it's more the building and fire district side, but I noticed Millwood didn't have it, so that's why I referenced it.
So public assembly is different than, Oktoberfest in the park,
That's a special event permit,
okay.
Yeah.
And, farmer's market,
special event or temporary use permit if it's a business doing it.
okay.
Yep.
Page 36. 37.
Well, 36, I got a question, and it's just to get me straight kind of a thing. Where I see a footnote 1
Yes.
and 2, but I don't see where footnote 1 and 2 are on the chart.
Yeah, they're under B3 ministerial permits, references 1 and 2, as does,
Oh, up there,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I was looking for
Thought I
them in
had
the
one more.
charts.
Yeah, I thought I had one more reference on it, but I guess that's it. Yeah, so it's under ministerial.
Okay,
And that actually answers a little bit of your question on the historic side too, number 1.
well, I read them, I just didn't see where they were referenced.
All right. 37.
I have a question on 37,
Okay.
the very top line. Project permits not requiring public notice
Yes.
are 65 days.
Yep.
But projects requiring public notice are only 60 days. So why would the,
Project permits requiring public notice are 100 days.
under
Type
type 1,
So are there any project permits requiring public notice under type 1?
No,
Maybe they don't exist.
they don't exist.
You gotta go to part.
Yeah,
Type
so
2.
type 1 is no public notice, I just have to issue a determination of completeness. Type 2 is a notice of application. Type 3 is a notice of application and notice of public hearing, as is 4 and 5.
So type 1 permits do not require public notice, is that?
Correct.
So what does that include? And so type,
Type 1 is administrative lot splits, because they combine with a residential building permit, or they may. So that's required under state law to only do them as administrative. Boundary line adjustments, which is consistent with how it currently is. Any civil construction or grading permits that are category exempt from SEPA, or where SEPA's already been done, that's consistent with how it's already done. Final binding site plan or record of survey lot finalization, and this is what we talked about last time, that we said we do BSPs, but then we didn't have the process for it, and so that's consistent with how it would be done per the exemptions. Final short subdivision or short plat or unit lot subdivision up to 9 lots, again, consistent with the director reviewing that. Site plan review, that's the new one that's added in there. But I also have, what the star is if we run into anything with affordable housing, I can do my best to expedite that, and that's one of the processing bonuses that I used, and you'll see that when we get to the resolution and stuff. Temporary use permits, which is like a business wants to have a sidewalk sale or something like that. And so that's part of that. Christmas tree sales would be another one. And that's it.
On the temporary use permits, do those require public notice?
No.
So what kind of permit did you?
Temporary use permit.
Temporary use.
And we go over those in 1744.
And by public notice, that
Means
includes when the
notice of
little,
application.
when the little board goes out in front of the property.
Yes, that's one of the notices. Board goes out or it's posted on the notice boards, and then I emailed out to the public notice group and put it on the website. Those were listed as optional, but we do.
Moving forward. Nothing on page 38.
I was gonna say, there's nothing we can do on that. That came right out of MRC.
Nope. Just asking the question.
And that is consistent with page 37 for the timelines.
It's kind of fun.
It's a great chart to have.
Chart,
Yeah, I just updated my short course presentation. I'm gonna give one at the AWC, I think it's AWC conference in June. And I do this section, roles and responsibilities in planning. And before this, I just had to list, okay, these are administrative, this is kind of what you do. These are quasi judicial, this is kind of what you do. I included this chart in it this time since it's so easy to use.
Okay, do you want me just to do what we're doing, just go by
Yeah.
page, or do you wanna go ahead and kinda highlight everything?
The only highlight I had was that conditional use permit, so it's just whatever anybody has comments on.
Page 39.
Oh, okay. We get into definitions. So. We have construction permits and we have building permits, right?
Yes.
So the difference is,
Construction is the civil side. And that is actually something new, I quoted the RCW on it. That they call them construction permits, so it's like grading, clearing, all of that are lumped together now under what they deem construction permits. And it's a type of project permit, which is referenced as a type 2, I believe it is. Let's see, commercial grading, residential and other building permits, SEPA review required. And civil construction and grading permits that are category exempt from environmental review are type 1.
now when you're using the term civil, as in civil engineering?
Side, yeah.
Okay.
And then also under 3G ministerial on page 33, other construction permits or similar administrative approvals categorically exempt from environmental review or for which environmental review has been completed in connection with other project permits. So. You know, I just realized I got a duplicate on that. Thank you for bringing up that definition. 3G is the same as what's under type 1. I think it's supposed to be under 3G. It is. That type 1 needs to be removed. Boom, there we go.
Okay. Anything else under definitions? That's page 40, 41, and 42. Okay. Page 43.
This is our brand new concurrency section, but is consistent with the comp plan.
Okay.
44.
Am I going too fast? Okay, page 44.
So do we have any of this stuff going on now? Or we're just informally do a pre-application conference? I'm sure come in and talk to me about it.
And one of the options was you could get rid of pre-application conferences, but I elected to not provide that option for the singular reason of we work with City of Spokane Valley on building permits. And so far, any project that we've worked on that we had a pre-app has been a whole lot smoother than any ones that we didn't. And so I figure it's way more beneficial as you get into the processing end to have that, so there's no surprises.
I think also that since we handed off to City of Spokane Valley for the nuts and bolts construction stuff, that to give an applicant the sense of our spirit of our rules and laws and what we're looking for in Millwood is really good to develop a rapport and get them to kind of understand.
Yeah.
That we're not exactly City of Spokane Valley.
So we hold, the way it works is anything on the land use side, City of Millwood holds anything on the construction side, City of Spokane Valley holds, and we go over there. And so like the mixed use building was done over there. The ADU variance and the setback variance and there was one more.
Parking?
We haven't had a parking one under me. There were 2 variances and there was one more. I can't remember what the other project was that was held here. And so Spokane Valley Fire District, everybody came here.
Go ahead.
Yes, page 45.
Page 45. Good.
Under section 1412-060, agent for the applicant and city permit review, where the city designates a permit responsible official for the project permit applications. And so this official has the authority to make all final administrative decisions, and that was number 2, subsection A. And under C, it's the city shall designate a single point of contact. Would that single point of contact be someone separate from the responsible official?
Not in our case, it's me. Me, and me.
So how would that work? My question is, how would that work if under F, the designation of a single point of contact does not confer independent final decision-making authority? I guess unless otherwise provided.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that would cover that.
And example is something doing, like Bobby brought up with the Historic Preservation Commission, where they may have a part of it that needs to be done, like a certificate of alteration or a certificate of demolition, but I have the rest, or the building official.
Page 46.
And the reason this is added to the code is, yes, we're currently doing it, but part of this project permit streamlining is the having everything laid out so everybody knows what to expect.
On page 47, that would be in section B, subsection now 12, amended to 12 in this draft. A notice of public hearing may also is issued.
Good.
Oh.
Catch.
Good catch.
May also be issued.
I don't think I understood that. What was that?
So it's written currently as a notice of public hearing may also is issued, and so my question was that phrasing may also, and Amanda, you said be issued, so just that correction.
I was looking for a subsection B, not the word.
That's a great catch.
Yeah. that's the stuff that my head was starting to spin on
Oh,
this
yeah.
after a while.
And spell check won't do it for you.
Oh.
Do you use Grammarly at all?
Not on these.
Okay.
Well, it would, you'd probably blow it up or something with some of this stuff.
Yeah, all the AI stuff doesn't work so well on code language.
All right, page 48.
I just have a question on posting notice on the city website.
Mhm.
It says if possible.
The reason I put if possible is on anything electronic is, and we've already had it happen, if they crash, there is nothing I can do about it. So that's why we don't wanna make them mandatory, because then we could get held up if our website crashes and I couldn't get it posted.
Okay, so that would be the same for the 2 paragraphs down about providing notice via email or equivalent can't even talk, electronic communication method to citizens and neighborhood groups. That makes more sense to me than, if possible, but now that you explain that, I understand that, okay.
And just so you know, the reason I put it on both is I actually had it happen one time. Outlook limits you to, I think it's about 100 recipients on an email. And I hit 101 on Liberty Lake and I crashed it.
Oh.
And so I had to go through and separate it out into, I think it was 3 different lists or something. And so that's, yeah. If I sent it off and then it crashed and I didn't know it.
I just thought maybe Bridget wasn't getting her job done. Okay.
On 48, mailing notice to owners of all properties within 250 feet of the boundary. Under type 3, that's not applicable?
Correct. And why was it not applicable? It was not required. Correct. So conditional use permit is out, it's back in type 4. So shoreline conditional use, shoreline variance, and variance, under state law, does not require a mailing of a notice to the adjacent property owners. It is required on, unit lot subdivisions and subdivisions, of course. And the SEPA, I think. Let's see. So type 2 administrative is required. Oh, because of unit lot subdivisions in there. And 4 and 5 because of the subdivision and then the zone change. Those are the ones that are required to do it. And it actually, the 2 worst, and you'll see why I had NA, the publishing is super expensive and super outdated, so that's why we
Yeah.
took it out. And the second that is a super, I don't think you haven't had to do one with us, have you? We did for Magnolia, excessively staff time dependent doing these mailings, especially when you have, I look at you and it was Lisa, I wanna say we had 50 to 70 envelopes or something on Magnolia. And because all the comments that had come in, so we had to send them out.
To everybody that commented as well as to.
So it took most of a day to get it out and a lot of postage.
So type 3, we're required to post on the property side.
Yes. That's what I did in lieu of the mailing. I put the property notice on everything.
Okay, so we've got all these others, ways that we're letting people know, but not necessarily the US Post Office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else? 49.
On 49, right under section 14.12.090 for the review procedures, and how it's been removed for except zone changes, plats, street vacations, and boundary line adjustments. Is that
It's cause it's in
because
the
it's in
tables now.
compliance with, okay.
And so now I just say, all project permits shall be processed and reviewed in compliance with this title and other applicable MMC sections. And then jump down, B, an applicant may request combined processing in accordance with, this title, which we talk about in the C.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This one's pretty insignificant, but that same page 1412, paragraph C, it says, security for the cost must be posted prior to the setting or has been crossed out. Should there be a comma, or I'm thinking even or sounds better than scratching that.
Security for the
That was a
cost
little
must be
awkward.
posted prior to the setting, the notice of hearing, oh, okay.
The setting the notice is a little.
Yeah, to the setting of. Well, security for the cost
Prior
must be
to
posted,
setting the notice.
yeah,
They can take the outfits in front.
setting. Oh, prior to, okay, I see, yes. So, security for the cost must be posted prior to setting the notice of hearing or appeal per chapter 1416.
That works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Page 50.
So just in general, there's a lot of new stuff in here. Where did that come from?
So some of it was the state law information, and some of it, let's see, was this the section, integration of environmental review? Some of it was our own code, like, reference under 1804-210. So remember, I went through and checked for consistency and everything, so there's some references in there. And then, technical review meeting, I wrote that based on, current best practices when you have those. And there's another section in here, is it right at the top? Yes, the red line right at the very top of page 50 is one of our, process improvements that we use, so that we don't have to refund permit fees. And that language came straight out of state law.
Okay, so we didn't just copy City of Spokane Valley, County or something.
Nope. In fact, I think there's only one section, I didn't even copy it, when we get to it. There's one provision I saw we didn't have and I stole it from Liberty Lake, but I modified it still.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
And I think it had to do
Just
with
curious.
bonding and assurances.
yeah, I remember that one.
Okay, so that takes us to 52. $53. $54.
Well, just one quick question, I think,
Always you, there's always one.
sorry. 1412, paragraph D, but I think you've already touched on this. It says the city website whenever possible. And so that's, if there's a problem with the website, then,
Yes.
yeah, okay, sorry.
And it'll, it also says we will mail it when email is not available. So we ask for email from people, but if we don't have it, then we mail it. We also mail to Spokane Tribe, that's a separate requirement.
Okay, all right, thank you. Sorry, Mike.
Hey, no worries. 54. $55.
And the only thing I wanna say about 55 is, state law has actually removed any requirement of having administrative appeals. I know, I did not think Millwood wanted to remove that, so I left it in, but it is now removed from any requirements. You can just take things straight to Superior Court through LUPA.
Say that again, Amanda, so that
A city is not required, or county, is not required to provide a mechanism for administrative appeals anymore. But we do.
56.
And this is just adding in standard of review. We had it in a different section, but we didn't have it under administrative appeals, and so I added it in, so everybody knows what they're repeating to.
57.
Yeah, I had one question on this one.
Okay.
Right under amendments to development regulations, A. All the entities that can suggest amendments, we have any citizen. It's pretty broad. So in other words, anybody.
Yes. And I believe it's written that way because of working with like the business and development community. They may not be residents of Millwood, but they may see an issue with something in our code and they wanna propose a modification to it.
But we can have somebody who's trolling for trouble out of Alabama or something or other.
If they wanna pay the fees and go through the process.
Okay, I just wondered,
Mm-hmm.
really. So the others are just suggestions of people because any citizen would pretty well cover it.
Yeah.
But, okay,
broad stroke.
58.
Did we get through?
We're getting there. Okay, are we
On 59,
page 59? Okay.
yes, section J in the first third of this section. The very last sentence, approval, there's that little red hyphen or dash, and I'm just curious what that is.
Oh, cause there was an extra space in there.
Okay, perfect. It was just,
oh, so that's crossing out the space?
Mhm.
Okay, oh, cute.
Yeah.
Page 60.
Just a question on 14, 16, the next to the last sentence. It says, city attorney, city engineer, and or a slash, because that's the way we have it in many other
yeah.
places.
So all estimates of fees should be made by the city clerk treasurer after consultation with the city attorney, city engineer, and or city planner. You are correct.
And or city planner.
Yeah, so it needs a little
Slash.
hyphen thingy, yeah.
Yeah.
Or slash thingy.
Because the next page and following, you have and or, and slash or a number of places. Again, not a biggie.
Oh, okay.
But those are all correct on that one, right? 61.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Okay. So we're to page 61 and you said something about, you had something on bonding and insurers.
Just that I borrowed some of this language from
Okay.
Liberty Lake,
Okay.
because I noticed we didn't have it in the code. We had some references to it in subdivisions, but we didn't have it anywhere else. And one of the biggest things is like the completion of landscape installation. I use that a lot on the bigger commercial projects. Not that we'll have them, but it's best to have it in here. Because they finished it in November, there was no way they could add in their landscaping, but yeah, we didn't wanna put them on a full CO either, so.
Yeah, or they just never bothered to get it done.
Yep.
It's human.
And I will be going through all these sections on June 8th. I have a meeting with Public Works, our city engineer, and Brian to go over all these sections to make sure. I think I have all the percentages and everything correct, but we're gonna go through everything. And so I'll let you know if anything comes out of that.
That completes Title 14.
So 1744, the one thing I wanted to cover on that is on the top of page 68, where I add in the regional addressing standards, and I am not quite sure how these weren't in the code already. But they're all added in. Under accessory dwelling units, I had been following the literal letter of the law that Fire District had put out in their guidance, where when you add an ADU, you had to label your residence as Unit A. A citizen brought up, that seems like you're almost downgrading your single-family residence. So, I spoke with Tracy from the Fire District, and that section has now been modified. And I'll circle it on here so I remember. Has now been modified to read, Unit A is crossed out, so it now says 101 East Main Avenue. ADU number 1 is 101 East Main Unit B. ADU number 2 is 101 East Main Unit C. And I added, primary residents may be required to utilize a Unit A designation for emergency response purposes as determined by the planning director, city planner, in consultation with the fire district. So as of now, you do not have to add it. However, if there is a weird circumstance where they cannot easily figure out what the main residence is,
Yeah,
then Tracy asked me to add it. So,
okay,
yep.
I see that.
Sounds like a lot of liability if you don't.
we can ask them to, it's a should, but they wouldn't have to under this.
If you've got a giant main house
Yeah.
and a little tiny ADU at the back,
Yeah.
it's pretty clear what the main address would be. If you've got 3 units that are all the same size and one is the old
Yes.
house,
How do you tell them apart?
yeah, how do you tell which one's ADU?
Yeah, and they're all lined up or something, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we
So I
add
could
it.
see, I like the option. Before we get to that, I had just, if I didn't just lose it.
I'll ask a quick question while Bob is listening
Yeah.
for that. Top of page 68, paragraph 2, where you just explained it.
Mhm.
Should it be like 101 East Main, Unit A, semicolon, and then ADU number 1 is 101 East Main, comma, Unit B, semicolon, and that just kind of
Oh, okay,
breaks that up a little bit, because
so
you've got,
101
comma,
East
comma.
Main semicolon,
yeah, Unit A
okay.
would be a semicolon.
And that'd be removed, so it'd be 101 East Main, would that be a comma or a semicolon?
Well, I'm thinking primary residence is 101 East Main Avenue, Unit A, semicolon. And then the
Okay.
ADU number 1 is 101 East Main, Unit B, semicolon.
Okay,
ADU number 2 is et cetera.
okay, so semicolon there, semicolon
Just seemed like
there,
Identified it as separate.
and that's it. Okay,
Okay,
so add 2 semicolons.
Right.
Yeah, and Unit A would be taken out, so it'd be right after Av on the first one.
yes.
Okay. 68.
Okay, so we kind of breezed over that
So-
real quick. Does anybody have anything else between page 62 and 68?
64.
Okay, page 64.
You go ahead, Bobby.
Just a little clarification on permit required for erection or alteration. And I don't see structural changes as a reason to,
Structural changes are
that somewhere else in another title? or-
Title 15, so if it's under a building permit, a structural modification to a building, it'd be under Title 15.
Okay, so these are permits that are not building permits or not.
So, shall erect a building or structure of any kind or alter, it has alter under A.
Alteration is made for the purpose of changing the use.
For purpose of occupancy.
This is for the purpose of.
Okay,
So if you're not changing the use, but you're tearing out a wall,
so
that
no,
could need a building permit, so things don't come crashing down. I've always thought.
so no person
That
can,
makes sense.
yeah, and this wasn't a section, I added to it, but I didn't change that, so no person, company, or corporation shall erect a building or structure of any kind or alter any building or structure already erected with said alterations made for the purpose of changing the use or purpose of occupancy or institute or change a property use without first obtaining. Okay. Let me look at the wording on that.
Yeah, I mean, and we may have it covered somewhere else in the code,
Yeah.
but it. And kind of a related one, on the next page, 65. It talks about interior, well, it starts on this one, but talks about interior alterations. For purposes of this section, interior alterations include construction activities that do not modify the existing site layout or its current use.
Yes.
And involve no exterior work adding to the building footprint. If you add a story or raise the roof or something, have you changed the building's footprint?
So that language came straight out of RCWs. You cannot require, and sorry, which page was that?
That's page 65 under number 3 at the top.
Under number 3, okay. So this is interior alterations are exempt from site plan review, provided the interior, okay, so A references 3670B 140, 1, 2, and 3 come directly out of 3670B 140. So increase the total square footage or valuation of the structure, thereby requiring upgraded fire access or fire suppression systems. So if you are a commercial building and you're required to have fire suppression or exiting, obviously, and you add a second story to it, that's gonna kick in a site
So
plan review.
you've increased your total square footage, is that what would?
Yeah, you're adding to your square footage, yeah. And in almost any instance in commercial, you're gonna thereby require upgraded fire access or fire suppression systems.
So is this just commercial?
It is not just, well, let's see. All applications for building permits or change of use or other applications project as determined shall be accompanied by a site plan drawn to scale. No, it is not just commercial. So I was just using the commercial, because residential doesn't require fire suppression, so that's why I was using the commercial example.
But what would probably kick in, I know from experiences, a lot of our 1950s houses in Millwood do not have large enough windows for the fire department.
Doesn't
You
have
get any kind
egress.
of building permit,
Yeah.
they make you make your windows larger
Yes.
or change out a double hung window into use the whole opening and open out window. Which does awful things to the historical, original designs of buildings.
Anything else on page 65?
On 64,
64.
very top paragraph, just for the sake of consistency, I bring this up. with the exception of project permits where the appeal process is outlined in section 1412.025, any interested person, and it continues on when such ruling is adverse to his or her interest. I know previously we've been consistent with changing the
I
pronoun language.
missed that one.
So I was curious if we would
So
like
would
to
that one
continue that.
be theirs or his, her, their?
There.
I
There.
think
Just
we've
do
done
there?
it to there.
Okay,
That
Yeah,
would be
I think we've
consistent
been-
with the changes that we've done previously.
Yeah.
We like to keep that.
yes.
Yeah, they cut it in a number of other places. I missed that one, so.
You know what's funny? I even did a search for her. I did a search for his.
I wonder if it's just because it's his
That slash.
her.
It was the
Slash.
slash that got you.
Got it.
You had to do his slash her.
Mhm.
I think I even searched that one and not all of them came up.
Wow. On page 66 and 67, where it, under section E, and it talks about the regional addressing grid system. And then under, so number 3 and 4, and it explains how the streets are numbered, even and odd on which side of the street, north and south and east and west. And on page 67, it seems to reiterate that, under number 6. And so I was wondering if that is necessary or if that's repetitive.
So, 1744 as now adopted. Okay,
That is
so
kind of repetitive.
I do recognize that number 6 on 67, it does mention that title or 1744.055, and that 66 does not, but it is quite similar, just slightly reiterated differently.
I believe I borrowed part of this section from City of Spokane Valley, so I wonder if they had a duplicate in there.
So 66, those two sections go into detail on if the streets are running north and south, and then
Yeah,
67 doesn't quite say north or south, but just that on either side of the street, one is even numbers.
let me
and
see if I
one's
can
odd.
remove 6 and renumber.
Anything else on 67? 68.
So I gather you adapted this for street addresses
millage.
shall be 4 or 5 numbers because
Yes, they had 3. I think 3 was, because they're right along Sprague there, so north started at 3 or something like that, yeah.
yeah, it might start
It
before
might
that.
have even been 2, I can't remember.
It used to
but
be
yes.
like even double digits.
Yeah, I modified it to fit Millwood and even put in a few Millwood examples. I think I used Frederick.
Yes, you did.
Some of them I didn't need to, like Maine, I just used that throughout, but some of them I used individual to Millwood.
69.
So just as an example, you've got a commercial, or you've got a multi-use building. Main floor is like a restaurant, so that just has the address. Second floor is offices, so that has to say suite number something or other.
Yes, and even the first floor may have a suite 101, even if it's the whole thing. And then it'd be suite 201, 202, 203, 204, third floor 301, 302, 303.
Although, yeah, if it's apartments, it'd be apartment or unit number.
And in a mixed use building, I usually use unit, even if it's commercial, so it'd be unit 101, 201, 202.
So maybe this should say suite or unit rather than specifying suite under
And
commercial.
where is that at?
I don't remember, but it's there. Where it, I know it was saying it had to be suite.
Multiple unit complexes, accessory dwelling units. So when secondary addresses are signed, that's just apartment example. Story.
Unit complexes.
Would that be
That's
68,
apartment
6 or
unit.
7?
Page 68 or 67? 68, number 13, I see. When secondary addresses are assigned to individual commercial suites or tenant spaces within a commercial structure, the unit shall use the unit designator for, it should be or suite.
Yeah.
It says
So-
for, but it should be or. The unit designator
Unit
or
or
suite.
Yeah,
Or.
And that was,
that was,
Page 68, number 13, instead of for suite, it should be or. Unit designator, the unit shall use the unit designator or suite, ST.
Okay, 69. $70.
so, on 69. Display of address number 2, structures located in excess of 100 feet from the street facing the property shall display address on a separate sign or monument. I'm wondering if you've got a house or a building that covers a good chunk of the front of the lot, fire truck is not gonna be able to see the address even if it's only 60 feet behind.
Okay.
It seems like the goal is to get something that,
Yeah. So we can add to, this is what's required, but we can add to it, that's a good point. So if they're piggybacked.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
if you can't easily see an address from the street because it's behind another building or something, then maybe you've got the additional requirement of having a little sign out by your driveway saying what your address is.
that was number,
2, display of address number 2.
Yeah, and 3, we referenced the 100 feet as well.
Yes,
So both of those could be, or when, basically when your vision is blocked by, I'll check the wording
Yeah.
on that.
something so that it's readily readable,
Yeah,
that's some indication from the street.
unable to see rear unit from street.
Rear unit's address from street.
Yeah, there we go.
And that takes us to 70. $71.
Okay, so we've got public hearing crossed out. Is that because we put it elsewhere or because?
Yeah,
we-
cause it's in the chart.
Okay.
I took it out of here so that, again, we can refer back to those charts for everything.
Okay.
But yes, I will leave it under the public hearing.
$72.
Somebody had asked about temporary use permits, that's on 73 FYI.
73.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about temporary use permits. How temporary is temporary?
Duration of the project.
Yeah, I can't remember if it has it in the, I don't have definitions.
But it's a good,
Cause it's in appendix A.
it's a good question. whether,
Yeah.
You know, how long can you have the party going on?
I wouldn't want somebody to walk in and have somebody stamp it and say you have a temporary use permit for the next 5
Yeah.
years.
Let's try
Right.
429, do we have appendix A?
Leaving the next 3 months as if he's,
I was
Yeah,
thinking
search
90
temporary.
days.
That's good, good point.
We're pulling up the definition of temporary use.
yeah.
Or temporary use.
This is like Noah days and tree lighting.
In past, it's usually up to 90 days, but. It's signed.
Do we require street use
It's not in
permits?
there. It is not included in definitions, so, oh, do you guys want to limit temporary use permits in here? This section was just updated in 2022, so I didn't really tweak it. I only added the reference to processing.
Well, I was thinking there should be a maximum period
Okay,
and
do you want me to look at what other jurisdictions have for
Yes,
maximum?
please.
Okay. So add maximum duration consistent with other jurisdictions. I think 90 days is one of the, and then there's an option to extend.
So does temporary use permit include like sidewalk sales or
Yes, so this would be.
Christmas tree sales, things
Yes.
like that?
Table of permitted uses, so we'll have to go back a little bit, like March. We're grabbing it. Right there. So
Pertain
now
to
search,
Those I think are
temporary
exempted
use
somewhere
permit TUP.
in
Yeah, there
given
we go.
limits. You can
It's
only
called
have them so
Oh,
many
yes.
weekends a year or something or
Right,
other.
so many, yeah, so many sales. I have seen that, yes.
Incidental.
Right, okay.
Look at Christmas. There we go. So craft, farmer's market, Christmas tree sales, C1 and C2 and P1 are all examples of TUPs. So, or similar uses, so I would say a sidewalk sale would be similar use.
So you don't want someone having a semi-permanent sidewalk sale.
Correct. Yeah,
But Christmas tree sales are at least a month long.
yeah, at least usually they come out about mid-November and then end on like the 24th, so, yeah, about a month, yeah. And then farmers markets are May to October, so, which I forgot now that that got moved. That actually needs a TUP. It used to be a special event permit. So what would that be? June, July, August, September, October, so it could be up to 5 months.
But it's not every day for 5 months.
Correct.
Did it open today?
It
Yeah.
did. Did you go?
No.
Did you drive by at least?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't get to even look to see how it looks set up and stuff.
Yeah.
Looked a little sparse to me. I wasn't, kind of scattered around. It
It's-
wasn't as busy as they
It's
have been.
before the vegetables get growing and things, so
Sure.
this time of year is always a little sparse.
Sure.
But I bet they had big cookies.
The cookies were there, yes, cookies were there.
All right, are we done on page 73?
I think so. I'll come back with that.
Page 74.
475, under 1744-160A, civil enforcement number 1, the last sentence in that first paragraph, the planning director may also commence investigation on its own. Would it be on
Oh, it
their
should be.
own? Because it's not a
Yeah.
planning commission,
It
I
should-
assume
it should have
it's-
been
it's a
department or
individual.
director,
Okay,
yeah.
so an individual, so,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm almost thinking that needs to be the city.
Probably,
Yeah.
Civil
Yeah, cause I don't wanna,
you represent the city.
yeah, so let's change that instead of the planning director, the city.
Yes, because it may very well go to someone else who's doing code enforcement or something.
Yeah.
$76. And 77.
I just have a question on paragraph G. It references
Yes.
by providing resource brochures outlining the process for Millwood. Do we have,
No, this is in the comp plan. So remember, I have to go through the goals and policies of the comp plan too and make sure that we have any implementing requirements. And under code enforcement, because of the whole RDI analysis and everything, this was something that we had to add. And so educating the public on the code enforcement process and basically working with more of a carrot and stick is in the comp plan, so we had to incorporate it in here.
I just wondered if we had a
Nope, we will.
resource brochure.
Yeah.
Okay,
There is, just so you know, there, after this, there's a ton of work we have to do on applications, brochures, checklists.
okay.
Is that it for page 77? Okay, that takes us through the review of that chapter.
Yep.
Okay, so FYI, we obviously are running long. So I'm just going to ask Amanda here, because I think we can get through this pretty quick.
Mhm.
In the appendix definitions, it says page 1 of 19 and page 2 of 19. And I don't have anything past that.
That's it.
So,
It's just for the addressing I added in for
okay,
the
yeah, no
addressing.
problem. So I mean, does anybody have anything? I think we're just reviewing the definitions. So it's the 2 pages of appendix A definitions.
So the only change in this from what
It's what's
we've,
highlighted in blue
is the blue, which is the language that we've used in the stuff that
for
we
the
just,
addressing, yeah.
just did, so, okay.
Any comments, questions? Perfect, we got through it.
And then the last was E, it was just a quick discussion, I wanted to just make sure everybody's on the same page.
Okay,
E?
okay, Amanda's, we're gonna get through this.
All right.
We're gonna just go a little long, because I wanna get caught up.
Okay.
Okay,
So now that you've seen the entire code, I wanted to come back and make sure we're still on the good page of taking away the minimum lot size because we use the adopted bulk density standards. We use the front lot line width and depth, and then we use the lot coverage and setbacks to define the lots. So if somebody is coming in and saying, I wanna do a short plat for 9 lots and they have 2 acres, first thing we do, we go to the adopted bulk density standards, and I know this off the top of my head. And you're gonna say it's just under 2 acres, so you have 17 units you can have on there. Now, you wanna do it as a short plat, each unit, or each lot has to be at least 50 feet wide in R1. I'm just using UR1 example. And so each 50 foot, okay, each one has to be a 50-foot depth. Now, when you factor in the lot coverage, will this accommodate the units that you wanna put on there? If they say yes, we're golden.
So how do you get where did the 50 feet come from?
That was clear back in December. We discussed reducing the front lot width so that we could do an admin split based on what the typical lot size was in UR1, UR2, UR3. So clear back, can you?
So we've got a lot width.
Yes. And it's in the chart in the residential development
We've got a lot
standards.
depth.
Yep, same as the width. So a lot width and depth are the same.
So how do we not have a minimum lot size of 50 by 50?
Because the bulk density, so that'd be 2,500 square feet. But the bulk density in UR1 requires 1 unit per 5,000 square feet. So if you are, I'm gonna pick on LaDonna's lot, is that okay? If you are LaDonna and you have a half acre,
No, ours is an acre.
Acre.
Well, just an acre.
okay, you have an acre lot and your house and everything's up at the front and you want to split off the back and you come in and ask me, hey, I wanna put in, separate this off into 3 parcels, is that allowed? First thing I do, boom, take it divided by 5,000, which is I just blanked out, the density, bulk density standard. And this is how I did the land capacity analysis too. So you divide whatever it is in square footage into the 5,000, that tells you how many units you can have on that piece. Therefore, that's how many lots you can have as long as we can then meet the depth and width requirements back there. So that's why I left it out, because you remember on infill, and again, I'll use LaDonna's, it's one big piece right now. So if she came in and said, I wanna put a duplex on this, okay, no problem, because state law requires me on infill to allow 2 units on a lot. So if I specified the lot is 5,000 square feet, well, I gotta have 2 units on that no matter what then. Whereas if I'm referring back to the bulk density standard, that's what it goes for.
Oh, okay.
So
Jeez.
that's, I'm hoping it'll work that way. That is why I wrote it that way. But I wanted to bring it up again now that you've seen the entire code, which we are through it now, to make sure everything still made sense for you.
Yeah, I'm still wrapping my head around all of how it all works together,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, because state law allows you to, or requires you to have 2 units per lot unless the lot is less than 2,000 square feet. So,
Which is pretty crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good to move on? Okay, Madonna, you have any public comments since you're the only one out there? You're good? Thank you. Thank you as always. Thanks for attending and letting us use you as our example all the time. Appreciate that. Okay, that brings us to Amanda's city planning report for April.
Okay, so, is that the very end here? Obviously, most of the activity has been under the periodic update, so we can skip all that and just cover what's on the permits and licenses. So we finalized the approval on the mezzanine addition down there on brewery, what's it
The
called?
brewery.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. And
Whistle Punk?
Whistle
Whistle
Punk,
Punk, yeah.
yes, Whistle Punk. And then conducted a business license review for a home business permit requirement. Completed a shoreline tree removal and pruning review for that on South Riverway. Another one for a retaining wall review. That one's been approved. I believe now I've gone back and approved 01, I think, but I'll know that in my next report. And then Euclid, as of today, right, is when he paid it?
We received the check, we're
Yeah.
processing it tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
End of day. So-
And he had to just add one thing to it.
Mhm.
By the end of this week, I assume the building permit will be issued on the mixed-use building.
It's concrete.
Yeah. And I just assisted Bridget with the annual OFM housing unit and population survey. So that's my report. The only other thing I have, and this is, I need an interpretation from the planning commission. So, reading 1740-030, and this is the one, can you pull that up? Historic Preservation Commission has been talking about adding signs downtown. And Kyle approached me with Bridget and said, wait a minute, do we need a sign permit for that? And so I went through and reviewed the code, and based on what the code says, and the attached pictures, the signs may fall under the historic markers exemption below, but if they don't, then a special sign permit would be needed since they extend over the right-of-way, which is approved by the planning commission. So, these pictures.
So what are we looking at? Okay, street signs.
Well, it's either, there's two examples, we'll put them side by side. They're looking at both these options. One of them adds the name of the district above the street sign but integrated into it. The other adds a separate sign above the street sign. They're essentially doing the same thing. Would you consider those to be under exempted signs E, historic markers and memorial plaques? They extend over the right of way, so I was not sure.
I would think that they're marking historic, something that's historic.
Okay,
That, what do other people think?
I would agree with that.
memorial plaques was easy, but it's like, is historic markers this broad of a category? So if it is a historic
Here we go.
marker, whether it's like this, or it's something along the trail, anything that is a historic
Something
marker,
attached to the side of a building?
yes, are those all exempt from the sign permit requirements? That's what I needed to know.
Would we open ourselves up to anything if we allowed those,
Well, and we're gonna go through the sign code, remember, again, either fall or into next year. I have to look, and I'm looking at it based on the current code right now, I just have to give them a decision on this. But, remember that caveat on, when it comes to the sign code, I cannot have to read what is on a sign to determine how it's enforced. I don't know if we can do this in the future. I have to see.
okay.
You mean the historic markers? Because
So I need to know what a historic marker is, but I can't have to read it on a sign.
one of the things that would make a difference for me in this case is that it's the city doing it.
And that's
Just
what,
like the
yeah.
city puts up street, they don't need a special sign permit to say Dalton and Argonne. So to say Dalton and Argonne and put Millwood Historic District on top of it,
Well, that's one thing, but
that's the city marking the streets.
and that was actually gonna be, when we get to the code update, that was gonna be my suggestion, is we make a city installed signs category.
Yeah.
But for right now, I have to work with what's in the code.
I mean, that makes sense to me, but putting it on the side of a building, all of a sudden now I think we've opened ourselves up to other people come in and say, well, you're putting the historic district on a building, why can't I put my sign?
Yes, and I have to read it to see what it is, and now we got a problem.
Yeah,
Well, but what stops someone in the historic district from putting up a sign on their building that's about this big that says anything? You know,
It's just whether or not it has to have a sign permit.
yeah, which,
And in this case, because they're on street signs and the street signs extend over the right of way, it would require a special sign permit as per
Yes.
the code.
I think it says historic signs.
Okay, so historic markers and memorial plaques are exempt, and so I just wanna make sure that that's what you're envisioning on that. Okay,
It was when we did it.
okay, perfect. That was what I needed, but you'll get some more of this kind of discussion when we do the sign code. Yeah, so, you can do that, Kyle.
Okay, so it looks like we have a joint meeting with the city council June 9th at 5 p.m.
Correction, it is actually not a joint meeting, it is a city council workshop.
Okay,
And it's because it's on the financial side of things. So what I'll do is go over the regulatory incentives that we've already incorporated into the code. And then I have some options for the city council to look at on the financial side.
so is our attendance required?
It is not required, it is optional, and
Okay.
you'd be a member of the audience. We just need to know if everybody's coming. We probably better advertise it as a special meeting or something, or you assure me you're gonna sit in all different corners. Remember, we talk about this with Millwood Days
Right.
too.
Right.
Right.
So if it looks like we're gonna have a quorum attend on the 9th, then we need to know that, and then you have to tell me if you're gonna sit apart, or if I need to have Bridget and I advertise it as a special meeting of the planning commission to attend and hear the presentation.
It's a Tuesday night.
It's not that hard to advertise, right?
No. I just need to know what, if we need to,
I think we'd be covered.
yeah. So it's the majority of you thinking of attending on the 9th?
It's the first
Yes.
I've heard of it, so I have
Okay,
no idea.
okay, so we'll advertise it as a public
So
meeting,
gonna be
as a,
around June ninth?
yep.
I am,
Okay,
July 9th, I will not be.
July
June
9th,
9th,
okay.
So I'll have to,
PC meetings so they can
Okay,
attend.
commissioner comments, Commissioner Carino, Commissioner Beasley. Commissioner J,
No?
Commissioner Ricker, no comment. Thanks for the heavy lift. Holy mackerel.
no kidding.
I mean, really, I mean, and I can feel the end is in sight, so good job. And everybody, and just everybody in general. I really don't have anything myself, so. Looks like our next meeting with a public workshop is the June 24th. And it looks like we've got some agenda items there.
Yes,
And then, we do have a joint planning commission and city council workshop scheduled for July 14th.
yes, I spoke with the mayor and that's what it originally was scheduled for. And it got real confusing between them in June, so we just decided, let's just put it July, which is what we've had it the past 2 years.
Okay, and then you've got on here cancellation of July 29th planning commission meeting, so I just wanna know before we discuss that at all. Are we caught up? We are caught up.
So, we don't need to make this, decision tonight on the cancellation, we can make it at the June meeting. The only, when I can't even see that would happen, if we had 100 people come out of the woodwork and say, oh my gosh, this code isn't gonna work for us, then we may say, oh, well, no, we might have to have the July meeting. So I would defer until we have the June workshop, but if it goes as smooth as it has, then I foresee we won't need it.
Okay, or you only have 99 pieces.
Yeah.
So tentatively, we're gonna keep the 29th.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, perfect. So then it looks like we got our public hearing scheduled for the August meeting.
we will, yes.
Good.
Yep.
Okay. So if nobody's got anything else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion. Mike?
Do we have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.